welcome to the Citizen Channel, our preview of the up-and-coming game against Aston Villa at Villa Park. Yeah, might be a feisty affair, this one, mightn't it? But might depend how feisty, depending if a certain player turns up or is on the bench or even arrives at Villa Park, I suppose. But there you go, of course, Aston Villa versus Manchester City on the 1st of December 2021. Of course, we're going to have a look at how Villa are doing on the pitch with the new manager, of course. I won't mention slip-ups or anything silly like that. And, of course, I'll try and predict our starting 11 based on what we know injury-wise. I'm doing this before Pep's press conference, so allow for the odd Rick, if you like. And I'll also have a look at what I think Villa will play as well. Who's in charge? Well, we've got in his 543rd Premier League match. That's probably about 542 too many, to be honest with you. We've got Mike Dean as the referee for this one. 8 matches he's ref so far this season, showing 27 yellow cards. So that's a three and a bit a game, isn't it? And it's usually a feisty affair, actually, Villa and City. So, yeah, I expect a few cards with this one, even though obviously refs are being a bit more lenient, or supposedly being a bit more lenient this season. Last City game, of course, that Mike D was in charge of was the FA Cup semi-final, lost to Chelsea, wasn't it? So I'm sure we had him since then, but that's what it says. And yeah, I'm not going to argue. Ian Houston and Darren Can are his linos. Kevin Friend, yeah, another one is in the Stockley Park VAR room with his coffee-making assistant, Simon Bennett, there. Last time out, of course, interesting game, wasn't it? A 2-1 win for City at Villa Park, wasn't it? With Stones sent off. This was April this year even. With Stones sent off, of course, before half-time, and then Cash for Villa was sent off 12 minutes into the second half. Of course, it got off to an interesting start. I mean, I think we nearly missed it, didn't we? McGinn put Villa ahead after just 20 seconds. Yeah, a bit of a shock to the system, that was. But, of course, goals from Foden and Rodri brought the points home and extending our lead at the top of the table to 11 points. So we kill for that now, guys, won't we? Overall, the league record at their place, at their ground, it's not one of our luckiest grounds, to be honest with you. It's obviously we've done well recently, but over the years it's been a bit of a struggle. We played 79. Won 19, drawn 24, and lost 36. So that's one of the worst records we've perhaps got at a fellow Premier League team's ground, to be honest with you. We scored 94 goals and let in 133. And there's a little History Boys feature out there. So have a look at that, guys. It goes back to 1990, on about 12 or 13 minutes or something like that. They're not long. I try and keep them as short and as interesting as I can. A game back in 1991 is, of course, Peter Reid's title hopefuls. Yeah, we were up there. We were up there fighting for a title at that stage. All right, it was early doors, only about a third of the way through the season, if that. But, yeah, we visited ATKINSONS Aston Villa, of course. So have a look at that on the History Boys feature if you get a chance. There will be links on screen and below. And the odds, yes, the odds, there will be the odds show as well, so check that out. That's out there as well. And I'll give you a little bit of information about why I think, and obviously I've took information from this preview, etc., with the teams and stuff, and give you an idea of what might be a little bit of value. Please, I don't condone gambling, but if you're going to check out my little odds show on the Villa game as well, that'd be great. It's 1-3 on for City to win this one, and that was the same price that they put us for West Ham at home. So that was an interesting one, wasn't it? They're comparing Aston Villa away to West Ham at home. Obviously, on the face of it, West Ham weren't that good, I don't think, on what they did, but they didn't know, the bookies didn't know that. So it's an interesting price. Anyway, it's 17-4 with Bet365 for the draw, and you get about 8-1 for a Villa win if you're that way inclined. I'm sure none of you City fans will be doing that. On to the game itself. Yeah, I mean, and our opponents, of course, it's been a perfect start, hasn't it, for Mr. Slippy Steven Gerrard. 2 games, 2 wins, a victory over Brighton a fortnight ago, which is okay. Although, obviously, you know, did the Brighton fans boo their own players off? That I'm not too sure. It's at Villa Park. And, of course, he had an away win at Crystal Palace as well. Thanks to goal from Mr. Target. He doesn't score many. He's not usually on target, Mr. Target, is he? Sorry about the pun, guys. And McGinn scored as well. Interestingly enough, they won these 2 games with only 36 and 37% possession stats, for either game. So that's quite low. So Villa won't be worried about giving us possession, that's for sure. And they've obviously given over the vast majority of possession. That seems to be how Steven Gerrard wants to play it, which is fair enough. It certainly wasn't like that in some of the games leading up to that under Dean Smith, of course. And goals are being spread around, of course, which again, they'll be glad to see. Gerrard will be glad to see, not just coming from the forwards, it's coming from all over the pitch. And of course, the West Midlands outfits are now one of 3 sides sitting on 16 points and hold 13th spot in the table. Let's face it, City at home will be the first real test for Gerrard. I think he made a comment into your match of the day about it the other night when he was interviewed after the game. And but it's again, as it usually is against City for these teams that are reasonably comfortable. Yeah, they can get dragged back into the relegation zone. Of course they can. It's new manager bounce and all that, but the pressure's off a little bit. They can use this as a free hit, as we say, don't we? Which is what most teams do against City, but certainly in Villa's case, it's definite. And no doubt on the atmosphere will be depend on a certain play. I mean, there's only one set of fans who, all right, it's pathetic, probably can boo Grealish, and that's the Villa fans, isn't it? All these other guys doing it, other clubs, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not overly sure he'll be playing. Whether he'll be on the bench, I'm not too sure of that. I'm a bit light on the bench at the moment, so we just don't know with Grealish. But obviously, the thing is, if he does play, it will notch up the atmosphere just a little bit. They're not the noisiest place to go, Villa. I mean, you might hear it is, but obviously, these people forget we go to these grounds and we know what the atmosphere is like. And I'm sure the City fans will. I'll be watching on Amazon Prime. I don't have a ticket for this one, but the City fans give plenty of atmosphere. But Villa's okay, but it's not the great shakes people would have you believe. But if Grealish is around, I'm sure it'll rank up a notch, go up a notch if he's playing. We could have KDB back, we could have Foden back, and I say Grealish in the shake-up. But personally, I'm hoping Foden will be back. I think it's a bit too early for KDB after his COVID thing, to be honest with you. So I have included Foden today in my start 11 as I did against West Ham. So I am hoping it's not anything worse. If you look at the XGs as well, I had a quick look at the XGs. One of the sites I was looking at, and Villa's XG in the last 2. I mean, it's still something that's an interesting stat to me. It was 0.83 against Brighton and just 0.45 against Palace. I mean, they won both those games. I mean, just as a comparison, City had an XG of 2.89 against West Ham. So stat-wise, doesn't mean too much, guys, does it? Stats, but they do in a way. It just tells a lot. It depends what you use them for, doesn't it? I think we'll have to work hard, but players like Gundogan, Rodri, Cancelo are sort of hitting the straps, aren't they? And dare I say it, even Sterling's looking okay at the moment. He's certainly looking better. And with the defensive, I think Stones will be back in there. I'll give you my 11 in a minute, but I think Diaz, Stones and Walker in defence. That should be good enough to beat Villa, isn't it? I say it is a test for them, but we're very disappointed if we don't go there and at least one goal. I mean, I'm hoping for at least a 2-goal winning margin. I don't want it to be 1 goal like West Ham, but that wasn't really a 1-goal game, was it? That's the thing. It just hid it, really. It hid the fact of how dominant City were. I expect us to dominate this one and restrict them to very few chances in front of goal. So I'll go for their team. I'll go for this is what I think. There's one change to the last game that they played against Palace in this lot. I've got Martinez, Cash, Konza. I think that's how you pronounce it. Please don't worry about my pronunciations. I'll do my best. Mings, Target, Nakamba, Ramsey, McGinn, Young, Watkins, and Ings. Yeah, not too many could get wrong there, to be honest with you. And City's 11, again for the reasons I was saying before, with these guys coming back, and say I don't expect Grealish to start. I don't expect KDB to start. But I have stuck Foden in. But if he doesn't play, I would expect more or less the same team that played against West Ham, to be honest with you. But based on Foden coming back, I've gone Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, Foden, Bernardo, Sterling and Mahrez. That's only 11, isn't it? It just seems like a lot. Then yeah, that's 11. It seems like more than 11 then, all those. So there you go. That's mine. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and your teams as well. What you think? Do you agree with that? Well, you don't have to let me know your team. Just say, I'd stick such and such in for somebody else. I mean, I'd like to see Jesus. I do like, I'm a Jesus. I'll bang the drum for Jesus all the time. It wouldn't bother me if Jesus was in that lineup, but I can't see Palmer or McAtee or anything like that getting a game. Zinchenko had a great, and didn't have a bad game, did he? Against, you never know with Pep, do you? But that's an interesting one. Whether Zinchenko be brought back into the thinking as well. I'm just thinking of giving Cancelo a rest, perhaps. So we've got a busy December, haven't we? And it'd be interesting. Anyway, I'll stick with that. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, some quick quirky stats before we go. Aston Villa lost 12 of their last 14 Premier League meetings with City. They've won one and drawn one, conceding 39 goals against us in about 2.8 a game. So let's sort of knock that up a little bit. So let's beat it by a 3-goal margin. That'll do me. City have won 10 of their last 11 meetings with Villa in all competitions. We've drawn one. That's all competitions, not Premier League. Since the 3-2 loss at Villa Park in September 2013. Yes, that's the last time. They had a draw in 2015 with us, but that was the last time they beat us. City have won each of their last 15 Premier League games played on a Wednesday. This is one of these stats. It doesn't really mean that much, does it? But it's there. Scoring 36 goals and conceding just 6. Only Liverpool, 21 on Saturdays between 2018 and 2020. And City themselves, or ourselves, 17 on Saturdays between 2017 and 18, have had longer winning runs on a specific date of the week in the competition. Yeah, that is really a quirky stat, isn't it? It doesn't really mean much, does it, at the end of the day? That like a lot of stats don't. Villa have won both of their Premier League games under Steven Gerrard so far. They have. In the club's history, no manager has won either their first 3 top-flight games or first 3 games in all competitions in charge of Villa. Let's hope that continues. They don't win 3. That is a good start. Again, it's a quirky start. It's a good start. Pep has lost just 3 of his 64 Premier League games against English managers. He's won 56 and drawn 5. With those defeats coming against Roy Hodgson in December 2018, Frank Lampard in June 2020, and of course Graham Potter in May 2021. Wondered they booed him off the pitch. Probably didn't then. Yeah, there you go. So please tune back in, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Tune back in for my full match report. This is obviously, I'm not going to be able to get that out on Wednesday night, guys. It will be on Thursday lunchtime, the 2nd of December 2021. So please tune back in for my little match report and player ratings, the evening news, and my own little views, etc. And of course, on Wednesday morning of the game, there will be a vlog out on the Wednesday morning. It will be the History Boys vlog for Watford. Yeah, obviously our next away game's Watford. I'll be looking back at a New Year's Day game back in 1987. There you go. Something to do with a certain Imre Ferrari had an influence on that game. But please check out my History Boys feature on the Watford game on the morning of this Aston Villa game. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Loads of. If you go on my channel, I've got loads of stuff on there to pique your interest or for you to watch. And as I said, please check out my other 2 Aston Villa dedicated features, the History Boys and the Odd Shows. So if you can do that, that'd be wonderful. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave us your comments. It's great to hear from you. Such wonderful from new ones. A lot of new guys as well as my regulars. So I can only appreciate and thank you very much for sticking with me. That's fantastic. If you want to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Have a look at that film and TV channel. That's another thing I'll ask for. Have a look at that if you're into film and TV. I try and inform and entertain on there as well. But as well as that, if you're back on here, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.